Cheers, everybody. Hey, this is episode 193, wrapping it up with Grabbing the Brisket. It's all about tinfoil versus butcher paper. Welcome in, guys.
Tinfoil. I like the way you say that. Tinfoil.
Tinfoil.
Foil for you non-Texans.
Right.
Foil.
I had a whole intro just planned out, but I'm not going to read this whole thing because I just don't have the energy tonight. You know,
Just do it, James. Just give us
do it. I'm just
give us the.
Just do it live.
Hey, no, listen. Give us a synopsis.
Let me get you a brief synopsis.
Yeah,
Yeah.
do it.
All right. Okay. Welcome to the Grabbing the Brisket podcast, where we explore the art of barbecue. Join us as we debate the age-old question of whether to wrap your brisket in tinfoil or butcher paper.
That's good. Or not at all.
Or not at all.
Hey,
Or 50-50.
to
Or
butcher,
just do the boat.
To
There's
butcher
so many.
paper
I still want to try the
or
boat.
to not.
Right.
That is the question.
Have y'all
Here,
tried
here.
the boat?
That might be the name of the podcast. There.
What'd you say? Did we try what?
Have y'all
To
tried the
butcher
boat?
paper or not.
The boat.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, the tinfoil underneath.
right.
I have not tried that.
The boat.
The boat. The boat
I
method.
I did it.
The Moe Cason.
I did it.
Well, Moe Cason's a 50-50, right?
Oh wait.
He does the butcher paper on top and foil on the bottom.
That's
right.
what I was thinking
I
about.
think-
I think that's the boat, right?
Well, you can also do just foil on the bottom.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. You got the boat.
What's
and
the
then you got the
difference?
covered boat.
What is the difference?
The one has paper on top.
Well, they both have paper on top.
No, the boat just has foil on the bottom, nothing on top.
They just roll up the sides to the edge of the brisket to where the top is exposed.
I feel like we're getting ahead of ourselves.
Yeah.
a little bit.
I understand what you're saying. I'm just saying, yes, I was talking about the paper and the tinfoil method. Paper up top, tinfoil down below.
Right.
50-50.
It's like the mullet of barbecue.
Yeah, like the best
Business up front.
It is. It really is. I know you're going to go deep right now, but what are you fixing to say, James? You feel like you're about to get really serious with this.
He does have that serious look.
Man, it was. No, I was just going to let everybody out there listening and grabbing the brisket land, grab a cold beer. Dude, let's get to smoking.
Let's get to
Yeah, you're gonna need it.
this shit. Listen, if it's Friday morning and you're heading to work, and I feel like every day, like you listen to this podcast, it's everybody, no matter what. It's always on the way to work. I say right now, you just pull over to the
Just stop.
local 7-Eleven. You walk in like the 21-year-old self you are. You get yourself a little tall boy, covered in ice, because you see them right when you first walk in. You grab it, and you look at the guy in the morning. You wink at him. You pay your $2.65. You walk out, get in your car with your brown bag it, and you brown bag it all the way to work. That is an OG move right there. I'm telling you. You don't think so?
That's how
No.
you get fired.
That's an alcoholic
Right.
move.
Come on. I'm just saying. Do it. I'm not saying do it every day. I say do it on Fridays.
Yeah. That sounds like, have you been drinking? Nah, it's an energy drink.
It's,
Right.
They all smell like that.
hey, like this. Like,
Right.
what?
That's like the kid, like when he comes home on
Why?
what is the weed movie?
I don't know.
Weed movie.
Dazed and Confused.
Dazed
Oh,
When his
yeah.
mom comes in there, she's like, "Are you drunk?" And he goes, "Psst, psst."
Right. It was one of the,
The
most,
weed movie.
One of the most annoying parts of that movie is that kid, and every time he just kept grabbing his nose.
Right? Why do you keep grabbing
He's
his
just like
nose?
grabbing his nose and just like,
Man.
right.
Did you see him throw a baseball?
Then you got Matthew McConaughey. You're just like,
Did you see that kid throw a baseball?
he couldn't.
He couldn't throw it because he looks like he can't throw it.
No, they had to get in a stand-in double for him to throw the baseball. If you go back and look,
no, they did not.
Yes, they did, 100%. He could not throw a baseball, so they had to get somebody to come in and throw that baseball.
That's sad.
They did a cut scene.
You know what? That's a kid. Like his parents are like, "Oh no, I'm cashing in." But at any point in time, the dad just go like, "Damn, maybe I should have given the kid a baseball once in his life." Like I gave him acting lessons. I mean, obviously he did well. Hopefully he
Right.
did well, whatever else. But like
Was he ever anything else?
somebody like, "Shit, man, I should have like given that kid a baseball or something."
Right.
Yeah, I don't think he.
Yeah,
shit, I
that's
don't know.
that was a young Keanu Reeves.
No, it's not. It's not a young Keanu Reeves.
Now he's John Wick.
Ugh.
Yeah. I was going to say, before we jumped into it, so if anybody out there in grabbing the brisket, anybody listening here, if
Yeah.
you guys win, the freaking Mega Millions,
Bro,
Jesus.
dude, you better freaking hook us up.
Listen,
I mean, all
I'm
I'm
not.
saying.
Look,
Can we get some cameras?
We're not
Yeah.
pandering. We're not trying to get extra or anything else.
We are.
I'm just saying, if you want to find a group of guys just I don't know, just go. You know what? I'm going to help out some people.
Sponsors.
Throw
Right.
it this way.
Yes,
Are
if you want to be the
kidding
only
me?
sponsor of Grabbing a
Yes,
Brisket.
like forever. Like,
Right.
that means forever. You are the only sponsor. We'll give it to you.
Right.
Yes.
Yeah, we'll give you a 5-minute spot on the show.
Yeah.
Once a year.
Hey. Yeah.
That just sounds fair.
You get every show. Are you kidding me?
It's your show now.
Yeah.
Let me ask you quick, around the table,
Yeah.
one bill. What are you doing with it? You hit it. What are you doing with it?
1 billion.
Right off the bat.
First thing,
First thing.
I'm pulling my first car out of storage, my 95 Camaro, and I want at least 1,500 to the wheel.
Oh. So you're just trying to get a fast car.
Yeah,
No,
but
I respect
that car.
that.
It has to be that car.
But it's your first car, right? That was your
The
first.
fact that you still have it in storage is just something
I
else.
know.
My parents
Yeah.
bought it for me brand new when I was 15, and I still have it.
That's badass. That's super badass. John, what are you doing?
I don't know. I'm probably going on a vacation first somewhere, and then I'm buying a shit ton of property.
Yeah, so I'm right there with you on the property, and probably on the vacation. But I think I would take probably. I don't know. I'd probably travel for about a year. For 1 year straight, I would travel.
What about Lily in school?
Right.
We have teachers that travel.
That's right. Right.
Wait,
Yeah.
I'm not saying about like the education because teachers can teach, but we're doing private education at that point, and a curriculum would change. And well, she's 15 because she wouldn't listen.
Hey.
She's rich. at that
She's
point.
rich. She don't need to go to school.
Yeah,
What
she's-
the hell?
I'm just saying.
Semester
like,
abroad.
We
And
traveling.
that gives them a year to finish building our compound.
That's right. Be gone for 1 year.
Yeah.
That's what I would do. And you know what? Along the way, I think I would help. I would help people out along the way. I'd be like some random person like, that guy just did this, and I'd walk away. You would never know it was me or anything else. It would just be 1 year of just awesome acts of kindness. Probably the rest of my life. That's how it would be.
No, we'd record it. We'd be the new Mr. Beast.
No, I wouldn't want to.
100%.
I wouldn't want to. I would never tell anybody.
Yeah. I would always like to think that my first act would be like some type of like great act of kindness, great like generosity of spreading the wealth through the community, whatever. But I definitely probably be selfish for sure.
You're like
We're-
Scrooge McDuck.
Hey,
motherfucker.
we're all getting together, and I'm not saying we're going to Vegas or we're going but we're all getting together, and we're getting a private jet, and we're going somewhere, and
Yes.
we're going to have a great time for
Somewhere
sure.
all inclusive.
Yep.
Yeah.
I'm not telling anybody I
100%.
won the lottery.
You lie. You couldn't
No, I
hold it
wouldn't.
in.
No,
Yeah.
I would say that I had some investment somewhere that just went off.
Right.
You'd tell me.
Right. Listen.
Well, because if
We
you tell people you
know-
won the lottery, then they're like, "Oh, it's free money. Let me have some. Let me have some." It's like people just come out of the woodworks.
Yeah. No,
probably
it's
true.
listen. It's fine because I know how to say no.
Yeah, I was going to say, I'm really good at saying no to people.
No, I'm good. Like, no.
They have all those documentaries
I would
where
say
people
yes.
win the lottery and
And
just
just go
their
broke.
lives just get
Blow it.
ruined.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. $1 billion. That's a lot of money.
It is, but hey,
It's not a bill and cash option. It's
I
about
might-
800 mil.
Oh, well, in that
In
case, forget it.
taxes,
you know what?
about 600.
We might just open up grabbing the
700.
brisket
Enterprises?
stockyards where we're raising our own cattle, and
I don't want anything that takes a lot of work, really. Yeah, I just want to like not do. I want to barbecue and drink beer
It's-
and just like
Kind
hang
of barbecue and sleep
Have you
all
not?
day.
Have you not watched Yellowstone?
Drink.
out. Is that what they do?
You have to be. You have to. Yes, you have
We
to
have
get
to get some
cattle.
hands. We need a rip.
We got to start
get a
branding.
rip.
We're gonna start branding your asses. Like you start getting a big old G on your shoulder. I'll
grab
tell you
them
right
in the
now.
brisket
yeah,
emblem.
you were like, Jesus, these guys are hard.
volunteer for that
freaking
job.
core.
Branding people or getting branded?
Right
branding people.
Oh,
Yeah.
you're
All right.
crazy.
there, it is.
We did it in high school. A buddy of mine wanted an E on his shoulder. We tried to make a capital E, and we couldn't get the coat hanger to look right.
That's some OG shit right there.
So
That's some
we
prison
did
shit.
a lowercase E,
Right.
which turned into a C when we branded him because the top two parts went together, and it stuck out about an inch off his back after we did it.
Okay, but here's my question.
Yeah.
Why? Why the fuck?
Right.
Like, what the hell, bro?
How old were you?
We were probably
32.
17,
Right.
Yeah.
It's last week, but
maybe 18.
I think those burb kids, those suburban kids, dude, they hit that age
those
of
bird
like
kids.
15. They're like, I'm gangster now.
That's what happens.
I make my own decisions.
That's what. No. It's happening
Bro.
earlier now. They're like 12, 10.
Brand me.
Yeah, they're like, I get a brand.
You can't
They're
get a
like,
talked about
tattoo. Let me go ahead and
Getting
just say,
plastic surgery to have it removed because it stuck out
yeah.
like a long way, like about an inch off his
I
back.
bet.
No shit for a while.
that sucks.
Yeah, it's not good.
Sucks for him.
It's still on his back.
But-
It doesn't puff up as much, but it's still pretty bad.
John, when you play with fire, you what?
You
Get
you
burned.
get burned.
You get burned.
Yeah.
That's right.
So, welcome to the Grabbing the Brisket podcast, guys. I know everybody out there has multiple viewing streams and listening podcasts that they can tune in and check out. We appreciate you guys checking out the Grabbing the Brisket podcast. Obviously, we focus on talking about beer, barbecue, and a little bit of the current events. We don't really mess around with politics. We'll
All the time we do.
yeah. So, thank you. Appreciate it. Let's jump right into the barbecue news.
Let's do that. The Hot Off the Grill Barbecue News, brought to you by the Barbecue News Magazine and NBBQA. And every week I reach out to Kel Phelps, the owner of the NBBQA, the man, the myth. I'm going to get him on here to talk news with us one of these times. But
We need to.
President, right?
he's the owner.
President, owner,
he's
CEO.
Well, he's taking it over,
Yeah,
but
he bought it.
Yeah, he's bought it.
He
Yeah,
owns it.
Well,
So
it's been in his family for a long time, right? As well. But both of them, right? It's just the
the Barbecue News has been in his family.
Yes.
The NBBQA, they were part of it, but it was like a
okay.
whatever. He's anywho, yeah. So I ask him every week, like, hey, what's the news? What's the haps? And today he told me that get ready because your Valentine's Day heart-shaped steaks are in the stores now.
what?
Yes, I don't know if you guys see these every year.
See
The
him
heart
every year.
shape. Yeah.
I never even noticed them before I
I've never
started
noticed
cooking,
them.
but yeah, every year they take our ribeyes and they cut them down the middle and make them
They butterfly.
Yeah, they butterfly exactly, and they look like a heart. So
And charge you 3 times as much.
I'm sure they do. Yes, because it's all that extra work.
That is some bull crap. I've never seen anything like this.
I've never seen it.
And they just do it for Valentine's. Like, why not? I don't know. Just say St. Patrick's Day. Like, yo, where's my 4-leaf clover steak? Get to work on that, butcher. I'd buy that for $1.
I would buy that.
that may be
I would
your,
buy that for $1, James.
your $1 million
I
idea. right there.
100%
It was funny, but I just thought it was funny that's what he came. That's what he told me. I was like, all right, like
Yeah.
I get
Thanks.
it. Yeah, that is news, and he is so immersed in the barbecue and the barbecue culture that
Yeah.
every little thing he notices, even when as far as to say that Walmart is going to have the tomahawk version this year of the heart Valentine's steak. So if any of y'all want to get me one of those for Valentine's, I will happily accept it.
Because when I think tomahawk, I think Walmart.
Well, hey, Walmart. Don't sleep on Walmart's meat department, man.
Yeah.
They
Every once in a while, they do have some stuff in there. That's,
I'm telling you right now, Walmart's got some great. They've got a great meat. Because listen, I mean, like Sam's Club is it still. I mean, it's all the same meats and distribution that are coming in. They don't. Some of the best. We used to only go to Walmart to buy briskets back in the day.
Yeah,
Before
they're-
there's an
yeah.
HEB down the street?
Correct.
Yeah. No. Even with HEB, it didn't matter. Like they carried the Black Angus brisket, a pack of briskets there that they just seemed to be more marbled than what we were getting at HEB and other stores. Like that was
Yeah.
the only place we would go to get briskets.
Yeah, I'm not going to argue that they have the best briskets, but if you want to get a brisket, they do have them there, and they are usually very cheap. Like if you're for chopped brisket or something like that, you can get
Yeah.
like sometimes as low as $2 a pound.
Right.
So, anywho, that's not where I was going to go with that. And then the other thing is we talked about it last week. I'll bring it up again. The NBBQA conference is coming up. And again, we talked about it last week. The master classes, 5 different world champions putting on classes. This is $300 for non-member, $200 for members. You might as well just become a member. It basically offsets that cost and get all the different perks of being a member. But you're getting classes from 5 different world champions in down in Orlando. I'll put the link in the description again, just like we did last week, and you can go get signed up. And if you do get signed up, let us know. Send us a message because we want to see you down there. We want to talk to you. We want to hang out with you.
100%. And I know that you're saying like 5 legends, but these classes independently, these guys put on classes. They host
Oh, yeah.
events.
This is ridiculously underpriced.
You might be paying
For sure.
$1,000 or more
Easily.
a class, and you're getting 5 people coming in teaching classes all day. Like the amount of stuff that's coming out, like it's
Yeah, yeah. All these guys are, and like Mark Lambert, he's like what, like a 5-time world champion or
Yeah.
something crazy like that.
Hall of Famer.
Yeah, it's really
Yeah,
this is probably $5,000 worth of classes you're getting for $300.
That's
right. Check it out. Click the link. Follow along. That's what we got. Hot off the grill barbecue news.
Nice.
Hey, just a friendly reminder, check out our barbecue wins and fails videos that we put out there. And also, if you want to be a part of the show and you want to send us a story, whether it's a fail or win, or maybe you just want to send us a message. You just want to contact us and just say, hey, what's up, bro? Or whatever it may be.
what up, bro?
Yeah, maybe you got a beer story you want to share.
Yeah, we got a hotline that you can drop a hotline. What's the number?
The hotline number is 434-829-2299.
Yeah, and send us up. Right.
Why'd you say it like
That
that?
was like that was my radio voice.
It's a radio
What?
DJ voice.
434-829-2299. Call now.
Yeah. Let's take the first call. Hey, John, cue up the
Listen,
first call.
First person that calls and roasts John.
Jan Moore on line 1.
Roast John. I need to hear people calling and roasting John a little bit because I need more radio voice, I think.
I actually did get one of those. Here it goes.
Jan's a little bitch.
There it is.
Love it. So if we feature your story on the podcast, we will send you a free bottle of Sucklebusters. No charge of yourself. Jan?
No, I'm not ready to read a. You only get.
No,
the
you
jingle.
pointed at me.
Yeah.
I was like,
No, I was saying like, hey, I love this, but if you're gonna pick a Sucklebusters, I'm just saying, grab that Chicks That Smoke. It's a red hot seasoning. It's not really red hot. It's just flying off the shelves. But grab one of those because it is phenomenal.
all right, well, I guess we have to pay a couple of bills, John.
Yes. Let's do some bills. Let's pay some bills.
Bills, we got bills. We got
In
bills
part by
to pay.
Oklahoma Joe's new Ryder Deluxe pellet grills.
Since the company's humble beginnings in 1987, Oklahoma Joe has helped those who appreciate the process and the craft of smoking.
What began with Joe Davidson, a member of the Barbecue Hall of Fame, and a dozen hand-built smokers at the Oklahoma State Fair over 30 years ago, has since forged an Oklahoma Joe's brand that builds some of the most sought-after smokers.
Oklahoma Joe has a proud history of creating uncompromising smokers and grills with carefully crafted design, and the newest generation of the popular Ryder Series pellet grills carries on this tradition.
The new features in the Oklahoma Joe's Ryder Deluxe pellet grills include a Pit Control 2.0 system that delivers the category's first dual-sensor temperature control.
Fire-focused dual-sensor feedback optimizes temperature control based on selected cooking styles, low and slow smoking, or high-heat grilling.
A power feed system that boasts the high-torque auger motor that powers through pellets for incredible power and performance.
The new Ryder Deluxe series builds on several popular features, including smoke and sear modes, which features an impressive temperature range that runs from 200 degrees Fahrenheit to a searing hot 650 degrees Fahrenheit, and a 20-pound quick-draw hopper that allows unused pellets to be drained in seconds for simple storage, removal, and swapping of pellet flavors. Guys, if you want to find out more information about the new Ryder Deluxe series pellet grills from Oklahoma Joe, check out the Oklahoma Joe's website, and the link is in our description in the bio, and that's oklahomajoes.com.
I'm Richie, aka Midnight Agent Rob.
I'm Devin, aka Special Delivery Dev.
We're the Super Media Bros podcast. And each week, we give a comedically informative take on movies,
Music,
television,
pro wrestling.
and much more. Check us out at supermediabrospodcast.com, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or anywhere else that you can listen to podcasts. Shades on.
We're off.
All right.
Have you done?
Are we going
have you
into
done
the
a
beer?
promo for us?
Yes.
Yes, it's being played on
I
all
haven't
these
heard
other
it.
podcasts.
Can you send it to us? I want to see. I haven't heard it yet.
You haven't heard our promo?
No. Not ours.
You have to go listen to
Yeah.
the other
Yeah.
podcasts.
Why were we not included?
Yeah.
It was probably one of the days y'all missed.
Yeah.
I don't think it was, James. I think y'all are conniving.
You don't have
little-
the dedication that me and
James?
John have put down.
That's true.
Yeah, actually, Matt was here too.
Matt was here. He's on.
Yeah.
Jan was here too, but he was kind of out of it.
Yeah.
Oh, I probably went to 1 tequila, 2 tequila floor
Right.
that night. Yeah.
Jan went to pregame before the podcast, and those are always fun episodes.
Right.
But they're always like
I'm sorry, guys.
Nightmare for
Train
John to
wreck.
edit.
I know. I know. Well, look, when I'd asked my Keegan, I was like, "Hey, man, you want to get a couple of drinks?" He was like, "Yeah, it's fine." I didn't think we were doing tequila shots.
Yeah,
so,
yeah.
You know what I mean?
He forced him down your throat, right?
It happens.
that's never a good
It
thing.
happens.
Yeah.
But hey, if you do want to hear our promo, go check out any of our friends on the Oddpods Media Network because they're all running our promo. I mean, it rotates through, but just listen to all of them until you find our promo.
There it is.
Yeah, I will say shout out to Perry Brooks from all social media, friend of the podcast, BRISKETMAN. He gave you a little bit of a shout out on the text messages that I had. He's like, "Who was the guy that was talking about using mesquite wood?" He's like, "Yes, 100%. It's like an underused
Right.
wood.
Underrated.
I would
yeah.
agree.
Underrated type
Yeah.
of wood.
It
He
is.
uses it all the time, especially when he does brisket. He'll throw some mesquite in there while he's doing brisket.
Yeah, he said if it's his own brisket, he does nothing but mesquite. If he's doing it for a customer or something, he rotates oak, mesquite, oak, mesquite.
Yeah.
But,
I've got a
that's
ton of
pretty good.
mesquite at the house.
I love mesquite.
Yeah, I like it for steaks. I don't know. I guess I haven't used it enough on brisket.
You
I
might
guess.
dislike it.
I might like it. I might
John just likes mesquite.
I might dislike it. Yeah. We actually have a message. We have a message.
There you go.
I've had.
John's had a
Too many beers.
tarnation. Like I don't know if anybody out there in hey boom, appreciate it, bud. He's making a guest appearance to the podcast. So if anybody's ever had the St. Arnold's Tarnation Ale,
Yeah.
it's a 9%er.
Well,
It's good.
I took
My
a drink of John's and now I'm
goodness.
slurring. So
My
Me
goodness,
too.
Yeah.
that
Was an option tonight.
Yeah.
yeah. We almost had it for our beer review, and we probably will have it for a beer review for one of these episodes that we do. But
Kind of want one now.
I had well you had one Saturday when
said Saturday?
you came over to the house. So I had one. I think I
You tasted it.
had a
anyway.
couple of beers. Me and the wife were hanging out on the back porch, and next thing you know, we started hanging out, doing whatever. Jan came over, Alex came over. We're like, yeah, I think I had the projection going in the backyard.
Yep.
I was like, I had a couple of Coors Lights. We went and ate at the Cheesecake Factory, and my God, that sucked ass. But I won't get into that.
Their menu is an encyclopedia.
yeah.
And so I had a
It's like a running joke they know about.
I had 2 Coors Lights there, and then we got home a couple hours later. I was like, oh, yeah, have another beer, whatever. Wife's like, yeah, she had a drink. Let me get one of these Tarnations. Fired it up, 9% alcohol. I was like, that thing went down so smoothly. I was like, this is so good. This might be one of my favorite beers moving forward. And I was like, okay. And next thing you know, let's just fast forward maybe about 2 hours or 3 hours
So-
into the night.
Are you talking about Saturday night?
Yes,
So when I left and went up and met some friends,
correct.
right? I came back, and it was a whole different vibe when I walked into the garage. So we were in the backyard when I left, and when I showed up, it was just it was y'all three, right?
Yeah.
With me.
No, well, it's just James, Laura, Alex, and I look, and all three of them look back at me, and they're all glazed over, and I was just like, "Oh, okay, damn."
I overserved myself.
Damn.
White.
Like I was only
A little
like,
too much.
I did
like
too.
a little bit.
At one point in time, I'm in the kitchen with this. I've hit that point where like I need food. I need to eat something. So I'm in the kitchen with Laura, and I pull out a bag. I think it's like Lay's, and I'm just munching on chips, just going to town. Like this is the best thing ever. And we're talking. We're having a conversation, just like whatever. And I roll up the bag. I turn to the fridge. I open it up, and I put the bag of potato chips into the fridge.
It's a normal thing.
And then I close it
People
up.
do it all the time.
And then Laura's like looking at me like this, like I don't know, just like perplexed, like look. She's like, "You just put the chips in the refrigerator," and I was like, it took a few seconds, and then it registered. I was like, "Shit, I did put the chips in the refrigerator. What's wrong with me?"
Well, that's better than putting the milk in the cabinet.
Oh, man.
I was like, "Am I okay?" And I was like, okay. I put them back in the pantry, and I was like, "Dang." she's like, well, maybe you should, maybe we should call. And I'm like, well, I think we should go outside and have another beer. So I went outside and it was like, boom. Just then you showed up and then we hung out a little bit later. Anyways, that was a long story. Could have been a little shorter or whatever.
So
but
I didn't
You were
realize
drunk.
that. I didn't. So your wife's like, hey, maybe we should call it a night. And you're like, no, I'm going to go outside and get faded even more.
pretty much.
Good for you.
Yeah.
Good for
Yeah,
you.
put that foot down.
Well, I mean, it's not, yeah. Yeah.
I don't think
left
it'll-
us.
I don't think
ordered,
I did.
I ordered an Uber and you left.
I 100%.
I was talking to
did.
James. I look over at James, and James is just nodding off. And I was like, oh.
That's what I do. If you're ever anybody out there and that's listening, if you're ever at the house and we're drinking, we're having a good time, and everything, and it's getting towards late on in the evening, and I start bringing food out to everybody, that means I want them to eat
And go
get
home.
full and go home.
You didn't bring
because
food out that night.
Yeah.
I am done. So
I don't think you brought food out that night.
Why is drunk food so much better than regular food?
I have no clue.
Well, you mentioned Tarnation, which is a St. Arnold's beer.
That was the beer that I
And
got
we
all
mentioned
trashed.
Perry Brooks. We have a message from Perry Brooks
Ooh.
about St. Arnold's beer.
Let's do it.
Can I
Yeah.
Fire it up.
roll that footage? Well, it's not footage; it's audio. So just listen.
Hey guys, I'm just going to go ahead and deem myself the most interactive listener y'all have.
Bless
Perry Brooks.
Perry.
Hey, literally, I stopped in the middle of the podcast to jump on this because I wanted to discuss it with y'all. I got a funny story about the lawnmower, St. Arnold. I was a company I used to work for. I was the project manager for a dust collections company. And we have some dust collectors in their brewery. So one of the times I was out there, my contact, he brought us down, I guess in the cellar or basement or whatever you want to call it, the brewing room, right before they put it in cans, because long before it was only in bottles. So they just, and it was the first run of lawnmower. And I was over
cool.
there just checking it out. You know, boom. My contact gave us the beer. And I'm looking at all of the mechanics of how they fill the cans. And they have 12 little nipples filling up the cans. And then they roll around the conveyor
nipple?
and they smash the was not filling. This old man that was walking around, I was like, hey, excuse me, sir, number 8 filling. Over there, talked to my POC, and then they came over to me and was like, hey, Barry, you need to get out of here. Come find out that was the dead-gum owner of St. Arnold that I was talking shit about. I was just being a QC guy, right? Number 8's not for it. So that's my weird story of St. Arnold lawnmower. And I drank one of the first cans that came off the line right there in the brewing room with the owner, pissed him off.
That is a barbecue
Keep it up.
win.
Later.
Appreciate it, Barry.
That's a barbecue win fail. I don't know what to call that. Like, that's an epic story, though. Like,
Yeah, it's just a
like,
great
yeah.
story. Like that
You're
was
like,
cutting
hey,
out a
dude,
little bit, but
Hey, do your job over here. He's like, motherfucker, I own this.
Yeah,
basically,
hey,
he's getting on to the guy about with quality control stuff he's supposed to be doing, and it's the fucking owner of St. Arnold.
He's like, I see it, everything.
Right.
I see everything. That's
Just
funny.
poke a hole in number 8 nipple and
Yeah.
let's go.
Let's go.
Yeah, I got nipples. Can you milk me?
Love it. Fulker.
I don't know.
Thanks, Perry.
That's badass.
All right, so do we want to get into the grab another brisket beer review? Do we want to go into the
Oh, I don't know,
barbecue
James. The
topic
way
of
you
the
just keep,
day?
you don't have to navigate. Just let it happen organically.
Well, no, someone has to definitely navigate this.
Definitely.
And
Yeah.
that's James's
Like
job.
cats.
It'll be an hour and a half. We won't have talked about anything. But you definitely do have to like make the decision for us because we won't make it.
Yeah.
I'm not making a decision. I already put it out
Grabbing
there.
a brisket. Beer review. And tonight we have Another one from
Martin
Martin House. Yes, and it's called the Banrarang. You want to pass me one of those so I can tell them what the hell it is?
Tangeray.
Yes.
This is like the.
Look, we love Martin
oh,
House.
is this like the Lost Boys type thing?
I don't know. I guess.
You know what I'm talking about?
This looks like
what's
the-
it- what's
Yeah,
the
from the
Peter
movie
Pan?
Hook.
Peter Pan.
Yeah, Peter Pan.
Yeah. So it's called Banrarang, made with peanut butter, caramel, honey, and marshmallow flavors. 10% alcohol by volume. It's an imperial stout. Yeah. It's
I have
gonna
really
be-
high hopes on this, on what you just read has.
I am
in
just
there.
going to guzzle this damn
It's
thing.
going to be a strong one.
This is going to be great. What's the ABV?
10% alcohol.
I'll be passed out in my seat in a second.
This reminds me of the green girl on
Exactly.
Guardians of the Galaxy.
Exactly. Yeah, Gamora. That's what I thought too.
What are you doing? We all have a can. You want to put in a cup?
I don't know if I'm going to drink a whole one of these.
Yeah, let's
That is some
split it
chocolate. That's chocolate milk.
Y'all
Yeah,
putting
it
it in a
does
cup?
look like
Bunch
that.
of
Jen, you want to
pussies.
show them the
Yeah, take a
the artwork on that?
I do. I do.
I'm gonna drink this whole thing
Dude, this smells
Ooh, smells like chocolate milk.
It's like motor
smells
oil.
good.
because I'm only drinking beer for beer reviews right now. I'm
So we got
back
the
on the seltzer
Bangarang.
shit. So
This is definitely
I'm
Peter
really gonna
Pan,
enjoy
right?
This.
This is a Peter Pan-esque
I think. I don't know.
person, right?
It's like, yeah. I don't know.
Oh, it smells so good.
So it's made with peanut butter, caramel, honey, and marshmallow flavors, which we knew that. But
Oh my god, this is trouble. This is a good one. Jesus. And I know James is not a big fan of the peanut butter beers, but I don't think this one's too peanut butter forward. Maybe it is. I don't know. I think
No,
is
it's
pretty
good. It's not that I'm not a fan of the peanut butter beer, but I'll be honest, a lot of them taste the same.
They do. I agree with that.
It's like basically for me, it's how strong can you make it, but how smooth can you make it?
yeah,
I want it to be
This one is
30%, but tastes like chocolate milk. That's what I'm looking for.
One and done.
like I'm just
They're
a big
definitely
kid.
going for that.
Right,
Yeah.
Nesquik.
Dude,
What's that? What's the?
I just took 3 solid drinks of this thing. It just one after another, right? Just never any haze, nothing like bitter or anything. I mean, it just didn't get you. You know what I mean?
right.
This may be one of the smoothest
It's very smooth.
This is thick
peanut
too.
butter chocolate
what is
beers
the-
I've ever had in my life.
What is the on hook Lost Boys? What is the leader of the Lost Boys? What was his name?
Peter Pan.
What? Oh, the other
No,
one.
in the movie Hook.
Oh,
yeah, I
the
don't
other
remember.
one.
The one that was like the-
Rufus.
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
Rufus.
I was
The-
thinking-
Rufus.
yeah, the
Rufus.
Asian guy.
Rufus.
I was thinking Lost Boys.
I don't
The
think you should
vampire
say that,
movie.
James.
Is that inappropriate?
Yeah,
It is?
yeah. Well, probably. You're categorizing.
The guy with the skunk hat.
Yeah, he had the red hair.
Yeah,
He had the
listen,
black
guys,
red hair.
We're not talking
Yeah,
about
black
that.
and red.
We're- Yep, perfect.
Refugio.
Frigio,
whatever.
Rufio, Rufio,
Rufus. Is
Rufio.
that what it was?
Yeah,
I don't remember. I don't know.
yeah.
This
Dang.
is phenomenal.
This is a good one. It's got all the sweetness. Peanut butter, caramel, honey, and marshmallow. I mean, where do you go wrong with that?
I don't know. And it was and alcohol. That's called a.
I think we all got one.
I already
No, I
did.
said you already put it up there in front of the camera.
Oh, okay.
Good.
My bad.
Shit, I'm already drunk. I gotta go to work tomorrow.
Words.
I'm gonna put this in my cooler and take this home.
Same.
HEB has a couple more.
Not after I show up.
Dude, this is thick. Like, it's coating the inside of the glass, for sure.
It actually does. That's weird.
It's really thick.
I'm stringing out a can like a man, but
Yeah, I'll jump in there. This thing is sweet in all the right ways. It's got just enough bite to it.
Hold on.
Go
I know that you want to give a score, John.
I do.
And I just think you're rushing it. You know what I mean?
Okay, let's just waller it around in our
Well,
mouths a
I'm
little
saying,
more.
You're.
Just give her a swaller.
I'm just saying, don't rush what's happening.
Okay.
You know what I mean? You might be tasting one of the. You might be tasting one of the best peanut butter chocolates you've ever had. in
It's
your
up
damn
there,
life.
bro. This is up
I'm
there.
telling you right now.
it is
They-
the best.
This is
I
good.
just don't want you to rush what you're fixing to say because I want to hear it, but don't breeze by it like it's no big deal because this is fucking really good.
I want to go first because I usually let everyone else's scores affect mine. That's why I want to
That's
get it
fine.
out
So-
there.
so
That's why we
ask,
need to have a
James,
notepad.
do you have a
John,
score?
go first.
James, do you have a
You
score?
already started. Huh?
Do you have a score?
No.
Then you cannot. No, you cannot go yet. We all have a score before you go. This is how nobody sways anybody else.
I think we should write it down.
Go,
That's
James.
what I've always said. We need to
All
have a
right,
notepad.
John, go.
Blind draw. Let's go.
It's sweet. It's chocolatey. I don't know if I taste the honey.
Delicious.
I think I taste the marshmallow. It's definitely got a little creaminess to it. God dang, it's got a bite, but not like a boozy bite. It's just like perfect round amount of alcohol. I'm going 9.6. This is really fucking good. I'm sorry,
You went 9.6.
9.6. This is really good. This is up there. This is saloon door quality booze. They're what is it called? The
Fluffy nuts.
no, they're chocolatey. I can't believe
Ridiculous
it's not chocolate.
AF?
Yes,
Yeah.
yeah, that one.
Or the
That's-
tasty.
Yeah,
Or
this is like the ridiculous
The
AF for me.
tasty is better than the ridiculous.
Yeah, but it doesn't have the alcohol.
That's right.
That's why it's not as
That's
good.
right.
That's why it's rated lower.
That's what I'm saying, John.
This is-
Welcome to my
This
world.
is better, dare I say, than ridiculous AF.
Yeah, 9.6. That's a great score.
Saying.
That's a
Sorry, I
great
haven't
score.
given a 9 in a long
I know.
time. Maybe
I
a
know.
year. I don't know.
I know.
Who wants to go next?
Alex,
Alex is looking at me like he's got a score in his head.
Alex,
Go, Alex.
go.
I
There it
do, and John just took my
Remember,
score.
This is a you're on 9.6 as well.
It's a fucking 9.6.
You're going
100%.
9.6 on
Dude,
this?
I love this beer.
Oh,
I'm
James.
almost done with this beer.
Listen, there's no way we're letting James
like
go
one
last because
sip
he'll just
left.
poo poo on it.
Don't you poo poo.
I'm going to go
James?
in fractions.
James, you're going
Oh,
next.
he's doing
James, you're up.
fractions.
Hey, Alex, just keep talking. You're good. Don't shut up.
No, it's a
Yeah.
9.6, dude. This is phenomenal.
Yeah.
I can
What,
drink
what do
these-
you like about it?
He likes the taste.
The peanut butter, the marshmallow, a little bit of honey. Like it's
The drink, is it just a smooth?
it's smooth, but it's a thick beer too. Like
How many of these could you drink in one night, you think? Be honest.
how many of them?
Yeah.
Probably 8
Oof, I'd be shitty drunk.
before I threw up on myself. Yeah,
You know what? I just noticed, and we didn't like most peanut butter or peanut butter chocolate. This is not a peanut butter chocolate beer.
No. It's
Like I didn't even
This
think
is a
about that till
peanut
just now,
butter.
but this is not peanut butter and chocolate beer. This is peanut butter and every other sweetness you can think of beer. Anyway, let's just score, James.
We're going to go a 9.
I did not see this coming, James.
I didn't either.
James, you sure?
Don't question him now.
Take another drink. Just take another drink. Don't.
AKA Midnight Agent Raw.
Oh, there it is. I'm trying to think. Yeah, I'm going to give it a 9.2. It's
There
it's
you
great beer.
go.
This is a good beer. Jan, now don't
great
screw this up.
This is how Martin House.
This is what they do. They make 1,000 beers a year, and probably 800 of them are good. 10 of them are ridiculous, and about 100 of them are like, "What the hell were you thinking?" But this is a good one.
This beer is so smooth. It's so crisp that when you go to drink it, you don't feel like you're drinking something heavy. You don't drink. You don't feel like you only have like the air bubbles are coming up, and you just can't. I can funnel this damn thing.
Yeah, you don't feel like you need to be careful,
Nothing.
but you do.
It's just so effing smooth. This is a 9.9.
9.9. Holy hooters!
This is a 9.9
Did this
beer.
just take over the first place?
I don't
This
know.
is a 9.9.
It's going to be in the top 10 for sure.
This beer deserves to be like put up there with any other type of imperial stout or anything else. This beer is it's it.
Yeah,
Like,
this is definitely going to knock any other.
This
other,
is the one I've been
stout
looking
off.
for. I think you know what I mean. I've been looking for a beer like this. The tasties are great. Not enough alcohol. The ridiculous are great, but there's a back end moment
Little
where,
too
where
boozy.
you feel like
Yeah.
I'm getting a lot of booze. This encompasses like a perfect just balance between the two.
Smooth.
And this is what we're looking for. We're looking for 10% beers in a 12-ounce can. Obviously,
This is bigger than a 12
Oh.
ounce can, but
Well,
yes, I know what you're
16
saying.
or-
yeah.
Yeah.
Anyways, it didn't matter. It's just, I'm saying, we've been looking at this. This is a fantastic beer.
Oh, it is.
Yeah, hats
Yeah.
off to Martin House.
Martin House, you did your thing.
Yes, mad scientists.
And this concludes the Grabbing the Brisket.
Beer review.
You.
You bitch.
Hey, jumping right into the topic of the day, wrapping barbecue. And I say barbecue, we've been on the brisket kick for a while. Wrapping brisket in tinfoil versus butcher paper.
That's right.
There's also there's a lot of pros and cons versus either one of them. And there's also people have their preferences of doing whether they want to do tinfoil or butcher paper. I've tried them both. Everybody here has probably tried them both as well. There definitely is pros and cons on each and every one of them. Before I get into anybody have their preference?
You know, it's I don't think it's a preference. I think it's like what you grew up on, what you were taught with, right? And that becomes your preference. Like, had you moved on the street, John, and we just did butcher paper, only talked about butcher paper, you would be only a butcher paper guy, right?
Probably. That's probably true.
And I think that
I agree with that
it's just
100%.
you're a product of your environment. I don't think there's any one way that's better, except for if you want to retain the bark. I think you've got to try a different method. I mean, there's obviously you got to cook your brisket a little bit longer, a little bit slower, whatever else. Tinfoil or the paper, but the paper just seems to preserve that. It firms up
For
more
sure.
in the paper.
You're going to get a better bark
it's
with
the
paper.
same bark.
You can't
Just-
argue that.
It just firms up more. But
I feel like you lose.
I'm a tinfoil guy,
I feel like you lose
so it's just me.
juice
You
with
lose the juice. You
Yeah.
lose a little bit of the tenderness.
Yeah.
Right.
I'm
You got to find that happy medium, honestly. And I
I'm
think
a
that's what
tinfoil
Moe
guy.
Cason is trying to do. But
Oh yeah, dude. It was like I said. I've said it. You've said it. We've all said it. I was like, why does it have to be one way or another? I never even thought about it, but he did. He put a lot of thought into it. And said, nah, I'll just use both methods and
Yeah.
I get what I want. I'm like, and you keep thinking about what the boundaries are for barbecue, and you're only limited to what your imagination is. But like my imagination was saying, no, you can only use one, or you can only use the other type of paper or tinfoil, right? And then going into it, you're like, it's almost like a light bulb moment. You're like, who said I couldn't use both? Who said I can't do what I want to do? This is your barbecue. It's your brisket. Don't let somebody else tell you what to do. Try something different. Do something different.
Yeah.
People don't even. I know a lot of people right now don't even wrap at all.
Mhm.
It's a zero wrap, and we never talk about it.
yeah, I've tried it before.
Yeah.
I didn't like it.
So
Came out like a fucking brick.
do you low and slow it, or do you hot and fast?
Honestly, it was so long ago. It was probably one of my first briskets,
So?
and it came out hard, like
Really?
a rock. Like I may have broke my knife trying to cut that motherfucker.
Like-
it was bad.
You're like the grinder.
Exactly. You get the bandsaw out.
Now we have brisket jerky.
Right. It was not good. It looked fantastic. I went back there. I was like, oh, look at this. Look at that bark on that thing.
Yeah.
That bark went all the way through.
Had to break out the sawzall to cut it.
Right.
Yeah.
You cut into it, you're like, nope, that's more bark. No, there's more bark there.
Where's the smoke ring? Oh, nope. I reached the back bark.
I think James wants to go ahead. Go ahead, James. I'm sorry.
And so I have a couple of what would you say definitions, and I know everybody knows what butcher paper is, and I know everybody knows what tinfoil is, but
Yeah.
you put it into Google and hey, what search results do you get back? So it's like tinfoil, also known as aluminum foil, thin sheet of metal made from aluminum, typically used for cooking and food storage, and is known for its ability to retain heat and prevent moisture loss. Tinfoil.
There you go.
James, why is there a shiny side and a dull side to tinfoil?
Just the way it's made. When it goes through the machine.
Tell me.
I don't know. I don't know the specifics. I just know when it goes through the machine, part of it's got shiny and part of it doesn't.
That's why.
I
That's
didn't
why
put
they
that
asked
down.
John.
Yeah,
I'm going with the side that's pressed down against the roller.
I don't know.
So there's actually they actually do two sheets of tinfoil at the same time. So they're running two sheets through. So one side will be the shiny side for both sheets. One side will be the dull side for both sheets. But they run two together and they split. After it goes through rollers, it splits off and gets rolled off onto bigger rollers and whatever else. That's why there's a dull side and a shiny side.
So now is this going to be a debate on shiny side up or down.
I don't think
So-
it makes a difference.
There is.
it does.
There is a difference.
Seriously?
Well, at least that's what the that's what the consensus
There's
is.
not,
that
there's
there is
not
a difference
There's
about
not a difference.
reflecting versus absorbing.
Yeah.
Reflecting or absorbing
Obviously,
what?
something that's more shiny, it's going to reflect
Yeah.
heat, and then something that's more dull is going to absorb.
However,
I never
in
even
this
thought about
case,
Isn't that mostly like if it's sunlight?
in this case, there's
would
no
think
rays.
something-
Dark in there.
There's no rays. No, it's lit up from the pit and whatever else. So I'm sure there's rays coming in, but it's not like you think. I don't think there's a difference. I think either way you do it, it doesn't
Right.
matter. And we've done it both ways and never really noticed a difference.
Right.
Never really thought about a difference. But there are the purists out there that only say the shiny side has to be on the outside.
I think I usually do shiny side out, but it's not intentional.
No.
It's just the way it works out.
it's the way
Either
way
way,
it
it's better
rolls
than
out,
paper.
right?
I'm pretty sure I always do shiny side.
It's better than paper.
Because you pull it out and you're
Right.
looking at the dull side and the shiny's on
Exactly.
the bottom.
It's just the way it pulls out of the package.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is.
I would never flip it.
Never flip it.
But maybe we're doing it wrong.
Hey,
You ever thought about that?
they ain't
we're-
flapjacks.
Hey, you can't flip those flapjacks. I was just going to say the same thing, John.
So, really quick, I know we don't want to make this a 2-hour long podcast, but tinfoil, also known as aluminum foil, was first invented by a Swiss-French metallurgist named Paul Heron. Yep. Whatever his name was, in 1894.
Wait, he was a Swiss French what?
1894. Metallurgist.
Metallurgist?
Metallurgist.
Oh, a metallurgist.
Metallurgist.
Yes, okay.
Did I say that
Metallurgist. Yeah,
correctly?
he did. Yeah, he just pronounced it. It's a metallurgist.
Metallurgist.
Okay. So he developed a process for mass producing aluminum, which made it possible for to produce large sheets of foil. Blah blah blah. I think 1913 aluminum foil started being produced commercially. First aluminum foil rolling plant was a Dr. Labra. Obviously, I cannot pronounce any of these
It's
fucking words.
fine.
It's in Switzerland. And it goes on to say nowadays aluminum foil is widely used. We all know this. So let's get into butcher paper while all these guys fucking laugh at me. Hey,
Hey, it's not my fault you
Do
can't
your
pronounce
fuck-
words after 10% ABV beer.
I'll be
It's not my
honest,
fault,
it's
bro.
not me not knowing
Switzerland.
how to pronounce these words.
Swirla.
But these words,
Words are hard.
I'm not even going to get it's right here.
hates
Look.
us. He hates us all.
I can't see that from here.
EMMISHOFEN.
Let me see.
Okay, so
This
there's
is not.
Emisfafen.
there's basically what, like 5 different methods you can do here. You can do paper, you can do foil, you can do the Moe Cason, which is foil on top. I mean, paper on top, foil on bottom. You can do the boat, which is just foil on bottom, or you can do no wrap at all.
That's right. That's right. Butcher paper is not wax paper.
No,
So
don't use wax paper.
if you're at home and you're looking in your drawers and you feel like, hey, man, oh shit, I got some butcher paper right here.
Mm-hmm.
It looks the same and it says wax paper.
Don't do it.
Do not use it.
No.
I'm helping you out.
No, then you turn your
I'm
brisket
just-
into a Slim Jim.
That's right.
Do brisket? Yeah,
It's going to
I
have a
do brisket.
casing on it.
Yeah. Butcher paper is a type of unbleached craft paper that is typically used in butcher shops when they wrap meat.
How
Butcher
about peach paper? Can you use peach paper?
Same thing.
It's a little bit different, isn't it?
I think it's the
I don't-
same.
It's the same thing.
Same thing.
Okay.
It's just a different color.
I don't think that's the case.
I feel like they're different, but I could be wrong.
Okay, I'm trying to.
I think they're very similar,
Unbleached
but-
craft paper probably is a natural peach color. I don't know why. Okay.
Well, let's just see, because I will just tell you all.
Jane's got to Google it. So butcher paper was first invented in the early 19th century. The exact date of the invention is not known, but is widely used by butcher shops and the meat packing facilities in the mid-19th century to wrap and transport meat.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
the paper was durable, affordable, and it was good at resisting grease and humidity.
Yeah. I think we all kind of lean towards foil, or maybe the Moe Cason where you're kind of doing half and half. But if the listeners would like us to do a head-to-head comparison, we could probably do a video on that, right?
It's the same.
It's the same thing. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think I think we should do that. I think we should do a video, maybe not with like all the different methods, but maybe a few of the different methods head to head and just see what the difference is.
I think we should cook a
Fuck it,
brisket.
let's try it all. Let's spend $1,000 on some
I'm
meat
saying
to try all of them.
we just don't wrap. We do a non-wrap brisket. We do a wrapped in tinfoil, a wrapped in butcher paper. We do a wrap in butcher paper and tinfoil, right? And then
We do one with just the boat or no?
Yeah.
we do one with the boat.
So we need to buy 5 briskets. Alex, buy 5 briskets.
Yeah.
It's decided. So benefits of using tinfoil, benefits of using butcher paper. I don't know if everybody has their class assignments in front of them, but I'm going to go ahead and read this. Tinfoil creates a tight seal around the meat, which helps retain moisture and prevent it from drying out. Tinfoil also could be used to keep meat warm longer for pork. See Jan putting his finger
I
Uh,
got
up
it. No, tinfoil. You're right. Right. Tinfoil will also be easy to use, and it can be wrapped around the meat quickly. I get what you're saying, but also when your meat is boiling, when that au jus is boiling, when your meat is boiling, right, at 200 plus degrees, that's the point where you're drying out your meat. And and I think that's the point. People don't realize that when you're just because the internal temperature of your meat is maybe at 200, whatever else, or what, but the au jus around it is boiling in that wrapper. It's boiling around the brisket, and it's basically encased in an au jus that's
You're braising the meat at this point.
at 200 something degrees.
It's going to be tender as hell.
So that's the only problem I have with the tinfoil is that it's very hard to have a consistent barbecue the way you want it, and I think that's why butcher paper is so good because when you get it to that temperature, you pull. You're not boiling the au jus.
Right, and a lot of the au jus is just leaking out of the damn paper anyway, so it's not going to sit there and boil.
Well,
Yeah.
a lot of times,
Right.
like, once you get it to temperature with tinfoil, you vent.
That's true.
You open
Yeah.
it up and you have to vent it.
Yeah, so like liquid or water boils at 212 degrees. We're not cooking that, so you never want to go higher than that. But we are pushing the envelope. We're pushing to 208 for sure on a brisket, depending on the cut and where it came from. But I'm just saying that the au jus around it, once it renders, that au jus will go to temperature before that brisket will, and then now you're braising inside of a basically a tinfoil pan, essentially.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So it does dry out your meat. I firmly believe that.
Yeah,
So-
like you say, so when we get into the benefits of using butcher paper is better for preserving bark. So, like you're saying, tinfoil, it's in there boiling.
Yeah.
Unless you leave that meat on long enough and let it set up. So we're taking to 180. We're taking to 185 to let that crust and bark before you wrap it into foil. Then your bark might have a chance to survive
Right.
the braising process when you put it in the foil. When you put it in the paper, yes, you'll have a little bit of liquid retention,
Yeah.
but your bark will kind of stay. But it will slow down the cooking process for sure.
Yeah.
right.
100%. If you're going to wrap in foil, freaking don't wrap until that bark is set up. If it's not set up,
for sure.
don't freaking do it. All this 165 you got to wrap stuff.
No.
It's not the same. I mean,
that's-
sometimes maybe,
The last
but
one
for
I
the
wrapped
most
was
part,
180.
yeah, let it go.
I'm just saying, yes, 100%. What you just said right there.
Yeah.
Mine was like, do not read something and say, well, I have to do this at this time. I have to do this at this temperature. That is the wrong way to cook because the person you're reading it from, that's how their smoker and that's how their cut of meat worked, right? It's not how yours is.
Yeah.
So you need to find out how your smoker works. Does your smoker burn at 200 degrees or whatever else? But don't let that be the factor, like going in between. Because a lot of people out there are just like, well, I have to read this. This said I have to pull at 165, and you're like, I think for your cut of meat, it could have been 175 or 180 or almost 190.
Yeah.
Like, and nobody ever talks about unwrapping, or wrapping a brisket at 190. But I think that's I think it's actually doable. I mean, I know it's doable. I mean, you can let it go. I think a lot of people do it. They just don't talk about it.
Oh, for sure. Yeah,
know what I mean?
let your brisket tell you when it's time to wrap. Don't.
That's right.
165 is a super loose guideline. You know what I mean?
Well, I mean, I think the color is what you're looking for, and obviously at 190, it wouldn't be the mark or whatever else, but not 165. 165 is like, okay, yes, 175, 180 is a mark that I have definitely wrapped at.
Right.
And said,
One tail is like take your finger and run it across the bark, the seasoning. If that bark
smart.
is just coming off,
Yeah.
then
It ain't time.
it's not time to wrap, because when you do wrap, that's just gonna maybe like accelerate and just gonna accentuate that bark just falling off.
Yeah.
So
Well,
by the time, I mean, your au jus is gonna be tasty, but
The last one I
but
did-
wrapping is only to finish off the smoke, the cooking process,
to tenderize, yes.
right? So go ahead.
Well, I was saying the one that I did, my solo one by myself, at 160, I went to spritz, and I got a little close with the spritz, and the bark spread. I was like, shit.
Oh, it's split.
It wasn't ready.
No, it wasn't even close to ready. So I had to let it go
You're
a little
like-
longer. And once you split the bark on it, that doesn't come back.
Right.
You can't push that back together.
Yeah,
Right.
you're not putting more seasoning on there. It's like, let me touch that up a little
Yeah,
bit.
it's not going to
No,
be.
no,
It's going to
So I
look
knew
like
it
you
wasn't
put
ready.
seasoning on it.
right.
That's what it looks. So
So
for anybody
I wrapped it
going
180.
back, so anybody going back saying, "Listen, I know I'm 6 hours into my cook, but you know what? I don't have the bark that I want." You going and spreading some garlic powder and some salt and some pepper or whatever it is onto your brisket, you're not going to get a bark that way. Like you're so far into it, you have to let it ride. Not to mention, you're probably ruining it because you're adding too much seasoning onto it. But I think a lot of people cook to what they see on television or what they see on videos and whatever else. Like, man, I want to get that bark, and you're like, they probably already have it, but they just keep screwing with it, and they just keep
Right.
doing different
Yeah, they spritz like.
spritz, and they're
Yeah, I think what we kind of learned is at least wait a couple hours, or at
Yeah.
least 2 hours before you even start spritzing any type of liquids on there.
I'm
That's
not
right.
opening the door for at least 3 hours.
yeah.
I waited about 2.5 where I started. And then after that, about every hour and a half.
Yeah. Yeah. Let that bark dry out a little bit, and then add some more spritz to it, right? And that's how you build that bark a little bit.
All right, so really quick before we, I don't even think I get into the other two pros for the butcher paper, but the natural color and texture of a butcher paper gives an attractive professional look for presentation.
All right.
Aesthetically pleasing, babe.
It is, yeah.
Just
You
looks
see
good.
it,
I can agree with
It
that.
looks legit.
yeah.
Like nobody wants to see tinfoil.
It's the bark. It's all
Nobody
about the
wants
bark,
to
right?
see tin. They want to see some paper layover. It's saturated. It's
Correct.
oily. They just want to see.
Yeah. You
just
open it up, you
awesomeness.
immediately think
You know what I mean?
Aaron Franklin.
Yeah.
My
Right,
God,
right.
I'm at Franklin's
this is how-
barbecue.
Does Aaron do it this way?
Right.
Is Aaron going to be here later? Right. That's what you want to think about.
Yes. So butcher paper is also less likely to stick to the meat and thus reduce the risk of tearing the meat when unwrapping. So, and it's not sticking to the meat as well. You're not pulling bark off.
Well, so
I've never really.
Never had that issue.
tinfoil doesn't
Issue.
stick to your meat
I've never
or
had
anything
that,
else.
yeah.
Never had an issue.
Correct.
It's when you cut one so thin and you have no fat or anything else, and basically you just bake a brisket inside of a piece of metal.
You scorch the shit
well,
out of
then
it.
it's called burnt brisket inside of a piece of tinfoil, and I've seen that before with other people.
No amount
where
of
you're like, that's on you.
peach paper is going to save that brisket.
Right.
No,
Yeah.
it was going to be not good no matter what.
All right. Couple of drawbacks before we put this thing to bed. Couple of drawbacks of using tinfoil. Tinfoil can cause the meat to steam, which is true.
That's true.
That's the part that I worry about. I worry about the steaming. The steaming is what dries out your brisket.
Dries it out. It
It
makes
dries
it
everything.
roasty.
Yeah, it does.
Yeah.
Right. And so
Tough.
that's the one thing about the tinfoil is that if you just don't know, and you're trying to like me, right? I'm always trying to pump the temperature up and get it higher. But that's the one thing that if you're not careful about, you're going to have a big roast on your hands to where you can't even slice it.
Right.
And
It starts to fall apart.
that's the part you don't want. When you can't slice a brisket and pick it up,
That's
yeah.
a telltale sign you overcooked that son of a gun.
it makes
Now we're
sandwiches.
having chopped brisket.
Just make
Right.
sandwiches.
So this next one kind of touched a nerve with me, and I'll
Yeah.
bring it up to Jan. So tinfoil also can be dangerous when used in high heat cooking methods such as grilling, and it can cause a fire. So one time Jan had an idea to maybe we did a brisket. It's like
Good idea.
let's put the torch to the brisket and we'll give it a good sear before we put it on the
Yeah.
pit.
I did that.
We actually put it on the pit, but there was tinfoil underneath it as we gave it the sear, and the damn tinfoil lit on fire.
Really?
Yeah,
Yeah.
it did.
I
It
didn't
burned
know
our
foil
brisket.
could catch on
Yeah.
fire.
Yeah.
Fucking
Yeah.
hot. Were you cooking or you?
You had a torch just like
I did not know foil could catch on fire.
that lit on fire and melted quicker than shit.
Yeah. No,
Yeah.
it did. It
How was
tried
the
to burn
brisket?
it was not that good. It was spotty.
Huh?
Yeah.
Little,
It was not the best brisket.
little
But listen,
foily taste.
I don't mind searing our brisket before we do it. I don't mind that avenue. I think our thought was good. I think our execution was just
Shit.
shitty.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Like, I'm sorry, let me get around here. We just didn't have good execution, Alex. Yeah.
Sounds like that was not good.
No, it wasn't.
You put a torch to a brisket
No, so yes, we on both sides
before you were gonna
smoke it.
smoke it.
Yeah. Made sense when we did it, man.
Hey, beers,
Searing the brisket before you smoke it. Okay.
beers. So
Sounds like there's no smoke rings to get into that.
two drawbacks using butcher paper. This sounds kind of like just like, oh, okay, I understand that. Butcher paper is less effective in retaining moisture and heat, and which can cause the meat to dry out if left wrapped too long. I don't know if that makes sense or not, but
Yeah, it's going to dry out more with the butcher paper than it is with foil. Foil holds all that moisture.
That's right.
yeah. Butcher paper is not reusable and is more expensive than foil.
Wait, is anybody reusing their tinfoil when they wrap a brisket?
Every time.
Oh, well, hell.
No.
Well,
Absolutely
hell.
not.
Can you imagine? Can you imagine?
Somebody wash the foil.
Babe,
We had-
that foil was out last night and has not been washed.
Stick the foil in the dishwasher.
Right? She'd be like, my wife would be like, it's because you didn't wash it. That's what she would say.
We had a
'cause you're
company
an
come in and talking about tinfoil and do turkey legs for like a safety feed for us. And like I thought these turkey legs were going to be like 6 inches in diameter. And then you unwrap like 5 fucking layers of like thick ass foil.
They're
I'm like-
small little legs, like chicken
No, I
legs.
mean they were decent turkey legs.
I have a hard time eating turkey legs off a bone.
but like
It just seems weird to me. It's all
all I could
stringy
think
meat.
was like, how much did these motherfuckers spend on tinfoil? Like it was like thick ass tinfoil. I'm like,
You'll recycle that.
I'm like, y'all spend a ton on fucking tinfoil for this shit. Like, why? Why is it wrapped 5 layers deep? Like, legit, it was at least 5 layers deep. And then
So-
it also had, like, Italian seasoning on it.
Ooh, that sounds good.
Delicious.
It wasn't bad. It's a really big, popular turkey leg place
Dude,
here in
go.
Houston. A lot of other people liked it. I wasn't a huge fan. Sorry, I got off on a tangent.
I'm
No,
sorry.
you're good. Is Boomer over here?
Boomer's
God
over
dang it,
biting me, trying
Where's
to,
Matt?
like-
We're in Matt's
I don't
house
know.
here. We're in Matt's dining room, and Matt is not here.
Boomer is taking
Boomer,
Matt's,
lay the-
Matt's position
lay
the-
in the
lay the-
podcast.
Yeah.
Boomer has torn a toy
Matt over biting
completely
hands
up.
all the time.
God dang.
Yeah.
Well, this is the part I think when Matt would tell us that we have a barbecue win or barbecue fail.
It is.
But Matt's not here, so I'm gonna
You
I'm gonna
do
play
it?
this. No, yeah, I got it here. It's an audio clip. But I also, if you're not watching this on YouTube, I do have some pictures. And while we're listening to this clip, I'm going to put these pictures up so you guys can see what the hell.
All right.
Okay? And this is
Sorry. What the hell?
If we have a barbecue fail Hall of Fame,
What the hell?
this one's going to be in the running.
Our AV guy is stepping his shit up. That's what I'm
We're
saying.
working on it. We're working
Guys, are there any more of these beers? Because dude, I'm faded for sure on this.
Are you?
This is pretty good.
We're out of those.
Damn. Oh, yeah, four pack?
There's
Well-
one more. I'm taking it.
Here we go.
Shit.
This is Steve Miller. I'm a joker and a midnight smoker with about 15 years experience. I was able to secure a Twitter account and the domain for backyard smoking about 7 years ago.
There it is, Steve.
I did not know at the time how prophetic that would be. This is a story of a $100,000 brisket, but this is not a funny story. In March of 2020, as COVID was just starting and virtually everyone was living in fear, most items were scarce. I was able to locate a large brisket at a decent price at my local Kroger. I use a Weber Smoky Mountain smoker because it's set and forget device even with no electronics. I routinely complete long overnight smokes, and I set up this brisket for a 8:30 p.m. start. It reached final internal temp of 203 at 11 a.m. the next morning. I removed and wrapped the brisket and placed it in a cooler with towels. I closed the vents on the smoker, and I went to play golf. I returned in time for dinner, and we ate the brisket. I've always stored my smokers, all three models of the Weber Smoky Mountain, in my detached garage when not in use. We were expecting a large storm with high winds that night, so about 7:30 p.m., which was over 8 hours after the smoker was shut down, the smoker was not even warm to the touch. I decided to clean it out before putting it away. I dumped the ash from the smoker into a garbage can, put everything in the garage before the storm. About an hour later, I heard a large pounding on my front door. It was my neighbor who was telling me my garage was on fire. I ran to the kitchen, and there were large flames coming out of the fully engulfed garage. We got the family and the dogs out of the house. My neighbor had called the fire department before alerting me. They arrived within 5 minutes. It took them 60 minutes to put out the fire, and we were later told we were about 2 minutes away from losing the house. Over the years, I had just moved my smokers into the garage several hours after shutting them down. In all of those instances, I just kept the vents closed and dumped the ash a couple of days later or when I went to use the smoker the next time. My near fatal mistake was to believe the ash in the smoker was out after 8 hours. The total insurance claim was over $100,000, and I lost my car, all my smokers, a lifetime collection of tools, multiple sets of golf clubs, bikes, lawn equipment, pool equipment, and believe it or not, my wallet. My house had over $40,000 worth of damage, and the fire was so hot my neighbor's house was damaged as well. The complete story with the insurance nightmare and the before and after pictures can be found on my website, backyardsmoking.com. Thanks.
Jesus. What's this guy's name?
Steve.
Yeah, Steve Miller.
Steve Miller.
Yeah, and I'll put the link to his website because he does have the whole story on his website as well. But if you're not looking at these pictures on our YouTube video, you should just click up or at least to see some of these pictures or go to his website because, damn.
Right.
Yeah, so
house is melted. The
I don't wanna
detached
cook
garage is
anymore.
gone. Car
fuck.
gone. Everything gone.
Listen, it's not just his stuff; his neighbor's stuff,
shit too.
right? Everybody, his own house is siding's melting and everything else.
It's
So
a good thing his neighbor was paying attention, though. And
I'll tell you
I'm
what.
glad everybody was okay.
Yeah, for sure. Like that's a blessing.
Yeah.
I just have one thing to say right now, and it's Sucklebusters. Everybody wants some Sucklebusters.
Dude, can I get Sucklebusters
Hey,
to shoot
get
him
yourself
like the whole
some Chick to
lineup
Smokes.
of rubs?
I'm so sorry for what happened and everything else. And me, I'm a fire guy, right? And not that I like fires. That I work for a company and we design systems to put out fires. So I am a fire guy, and I do respect what you're saying. But don't sleep on that Chicks That Smokes, man. Just go get yourself a bottle, and you're going to thank me later for it.
Hell, last episode you were talking about dumping ash that you thought was out
No, I did it, and
in
then
the trash.
I told somebody
in a
else
bin.
we're probably going to call the fire department over this, and then we just kind of laughed about it and then left. But not listen. We were in the middle of a nowhere with one metal dumpster that's not going to catch anything else on fire, right? So
Yeah.
I took the the calculator risk.
Hey,
risk.
Steve, thanks for calling that in, though.
Yeah.
That was
100%.
Thank you so
Yeah,
much.
hell of a story.
I'm
and
sorry that happened to you, brother.
I do think we need to come up with maybe a barbecue fail Hall of Fames. We're coming up on episode 200,
Yeah.
and I think maybe we can come up with something cool.
Nobody can beat that.
Yeah,
No,
and, you know,
everybody beats this.
there's lots of great stories. They don't
so
all
many have to
different
be
be
cool stories, yeah.
maybe
And
not that big of a
videos.
loss, but there's some other funny stories.
Yeah.
Last week we had a barbecue fail. The guy's truck takes off into the middle of the cul-de-sac, and is that's a funny ass story. Like
Right.
there's
It
some
was
other
funny.
stories
100%.
that could
This
be.
guy, I wouldn't have told anybody this.
No.
Yeah, I mean it doesn't have to be
There's
a
no way-
ranking. It's
So
just a
there's
Hall
no
of
way
Fame.
in hell I would have called in and told this story.
No,
It was
so- so
electrical fire.
He says this because
he's over.
he
Like,
wants-
I guess he's over the pain of it, or just needs to
I think
share
it was
the
a while
pain.
ago.
No,
but he's also helping people.
he says this to make sure he's telling knowledge. He's like, listen, this happened to me, and if I'm doing this and I thought this was okay, he's like, you know what? Do the calculation.
Other people.
There are
doing it.
millions of other people doing the same thing, right?
Mm-hmm.
And by his story, by him saying what he's doing, and by his using his website the way he's doing it,
Spread the word.
kudos to you, man. Hey,
He could-
phenomenal.
At least if he saves one person on this,
That's right.
Yeah,
and,
it's true.
And truthfully, he already did.
Yep. Yeah, and he's right. That like usually we're laughing at these. That one's not very funny.
No, that's not funny.
That's
at all.
not funny. I don't know if he's laughing yet, but
No,
yeesh, I
it's-
can't
look,
laugh
what-
yet.
Yeah,
I think he's spreading awareness.
You probably can
Yeah.
laugh now about it, like, dang, that was crazy. Oh my god, whatever.
Rebuild.
At the
engine.
time,
Yeah.
probably not. Like,
Definitely
it's
not.
so close to you,
Constant.
right?
All it takes is just a spark, an ember.
Hmm.
When you do these cooks or whatever, it's like I'm always like 48 hours out. I'm like, I'm just still gonna leave it outside. I just can't even dump the ashes. But all it takes is just one little piece of wood in there that still has a little bit of ember, and once it gets wood, or once it gets
Superheats.
wind, it just like done.
Yeah.
We
Super
talked
heats.
about it on the podcast
Last
like
week?
last week.
It was last week we
when we
talked
had
about
we cooked in our barbecue pit, and John, there's an unlit log in the barbecue pit. John thought it was like, it's good. I'm grabbing it.
He picked it up with his hands.
Yeah.
I'm picking up my
And
hands.
then
Set it
put
on
it-
the side of the pit.
Cold to touch.
And then it burned
We
our pit
drive
up.
down.
Which, by the way, John owes us another pit because he burned our pit up.
It did not
I
burn
didn't,
her
you
pit up.
burned our pit up, John. I didn't want to say anything.
Just take Johnny and June and let's
About
call it
this.
even.
We're
But
submitting
I
an
would
insurance
like-
claim.
I would like to pick my new pit up, Johnny and June, if you get me.
Okay.
Yeah. So honestly, guys, hit up the hotline 434-829-2299 if you want to be featured in the podcast. You want to tell us a barbecue fail or a barbecue win, or you just want to shoot the shit and just tell us a story. We'd love to hear you on this podcast. Also, go to grabbingthebrisket.com.
Yeah.
Like how I didn't put the W's in there.
Yeah, that was
Yeah.
good.
I
It's
was-
much
I
was
better.
waiting for it. I was
If you're
waiting
not
for it.
comfortable,
It's the
also
first
leaving.
time.
If you're not comfortable leaving a voicemail, definitely you can go to our website, and there's a link there where you can leave us a message typed out, and we'll share those too.
Yeah, we will.
Yeah.
We will. I feel like it's so weird that one of us has not called in on the hotline yet. You know what I mean? Like, we've all kept it honest.
Right.
Like, we all have the number, and none of us have actually dialed in to go, let's just see. You know what I mean?
It's weird that we haven't gotten random people just calling in. Just
That is a
going
little
like
weird. I'm surprised about that.
so
Like
wait,
random
calling
cat
about your,
noises or whatever.
extended warranty.
we actually do. We actually have random people calling in. John doesn't play them.
All right, John filters.
I did get
So-
a message from my dad today saying that he liked the shirts that I gave out the other day. I guess that was a few weeks ago now.
Yeah.
The
Face
grabbing the
on it?
brisket shirts with our face on them. He was like, I want one of those. He left a message saying something about that. So,
So John's in the winning
Dad,
with the.
Dad, you're gonna get a
You know
shirt.
what?
I'm gonna send you one.
I should have sent your dad a shirt for your birthday, the one I made.
when you made?
My birthday shirts that I
Oh
brought.
yes.
Yeah,
yes.
I probably should have, right? So I just did a couple of, right? Me, you, and Amy.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I probably should have.
I'll send him a shirt with each of our faces.
Has
on it.
nobody taken me up on the bounty?
Meow.
Don't talk about it. You got to listen to the past episodes.
Right,
There
right.
it is.
right.
There's $100 bounty.
Go back and listen.
Yeah.
Man, honestly, hey, it's been awesome talking barbecue with you guys.
All right, guys. Later.
Smoke on.
Dang it, Bobby. Just grab the brisket. We'd like to give a special thanks to Sucklebusters barbecue rubs and sauces. Bonner's Fiesta Spices, CoolieNation Custom Koozies, Cambro Manufacturing, Yeti Coolers, the Smoke Sheep Barbecue Newsletter, and Dalstrong Knives. We definitely appreciate your support.